Today we're packing and shipping a couple of orders, working on pieces for my next jewelry drop, and spending a day in the studio, aka at my desk. I've been super inspired lately after my small business refresh, which definitely go watch that last video if you haven't, because lots of updates in that video. But I wanted to bring you guys along for just a cozy, productive day together. So first, these 3 necklaces were from my very first single strand necklace drop, which was also my very first summer drop of the year. First is Fisherman's Daughter, which is this blue ocean inspired necklace, and I actually handmade mood boards for all of these necklaces, which I really enjoyed because I feel like it really conveys the vibe and aesthetic that I was specifically going for with each of these pieces. The other 2 are called Pink Beach and String of Pearls, and honestly I think I'm gonna keep doing these mood boards for every major drop and every like necklace drop in the future because I really feel like it adds so much to the drop. Today we're packing up Fisherman's Daughter and Pink Beach because they both sold, but first I'm actually gonna go ahead and change out their jump rings. I purchased these new really thick jump rings off of Etsy in 3 different sizes. First we have 5mm jump rings at 18 gauge, then we have 6mm jump rings at 16 gauge, and finally we have 7mm jump rings also at 16 gauge. 18 and 16 gauge are very high gauge wire, very thick wire, and so I'm super happy to replace my old jump rings with these. I would 100% recommend this Etsy shop called Miss Val's Findings, I believe, and this was also part of my small biz refresh. I wanted to upgrade my jump rings, but they literally just hadn't arrived in time for that video, so now I have them and they're here, and we're gonna replace the jump rings on the neckies so that they're super strong and super tough. Now almost all of my hardware is 100% like thick stainless steel wire. The very last thing is just my lobster clasps, which I do still use plastic lobster clasps as of right now, but I personally have never had any experience with them rusting, and none of my customers have ever said that they rust or anything like that. So I do hope to eventually upgrade my lobster clasps to solid metal as well one day, but it just wasn't as high of a priority as upgrading my jump rings and all of my beads to check class beads. So yeah, I'm super excited with this refresh and super proud of myself for updating all of my materials and just making higher quality jewelry. Now these right here are fun little logo stickers that I actually ordered off of Amazon. You could just put in a customizable design, and so I put in my little logo with Aussie's jewelry written, and these stickers turned out great. I really love them, and I've started putting them on my backing cards to just display my brand and my business with every single order that I ship out. They look so cute. I love these necklaces so much. Now we're gonna add little freebie stickers. Right now my only freebie stickers are these little calico critters in their little costumes and some low poly cat stickers. I always try to match the stickers with the color scheme and the vibe of each necklace, and I feel like I picked out really perfect ones this time. I'm kind of debating what to do about my freebie stickers because I really want to hand out like aesthetic and super cute ones that people actually use, but I feel like I've handed out the same exact stickers for so long, and with this little like business refresh I kind of want to change up my stickers, but I have no idea what to change them to. Let me know if you have any ideas in the comments. Anyways, this is also my favorite pen, which I have showed in previous videos. It's just really great for writing on my little sticky notes without smearing. Like, it dries super fast. Our little handwritten notes are completely done. Of course, the blue is gonna go with the blue necklace and the pink is gonna go with Pink Beach. This is kind of little packing refresh as well since I got the new logo stickers, and I decided to put the sticky notes with the little handwritten notes on the front instead of the back of the card, which I feel like is perfect because it gives a little like blue background to the blue necklace and a pink background to the pink necklace. I wasn't quite sure how I would fold up the single strand necklaces to kind of fit in the square, but I found the perfect system of just kind of like twisting them at the base and then folding them up. And oh my gosh, the packaging is so cute. I'm literally obsessed. Like, I feel like this is so much cuter than my older packaging because you have the little like background colors, the little stickers peeking through, and you can see all of the beads of the necklace. Like, they're literally all on display in front. Now I'm just putting each of them in their sleek and secure containers. I also decided with this little update to stop sending candy with my orders because I've had a couple of close friends tell me that they think that candy or like consumable goods is like a little unprofessional to send as a small business, and I kind of agree. I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments about that. But yeah, these are being sent with no little candies, and ta-da, here they are all packed up, and oh my gosh, they're so cute. Like, I feel like these little packages are so much cuter cuter than my old packaging with all the colors and the little stickers peeking out. Of course, I still have my handwritten notes in there. Those are very important, just kind of saying thank you for the order and thank you for supporting my small business. I add an extra layer of protection with tissue paper, and I just use white tissue paper because it matches no matter what the color scheme is. And I use compostable bubble mailers. These exact bubble mailers are linked on my Amazon storefront, as is a lot of my shipping stuff. But yeah, now I'm just sealing it up, and then I'll print out the packaging slip, which I actually just print out through Big Cartel, which is the website platform that I use for my business. And I have a little printer at home that I use that just prints in the correct size for the shipping label, and it prints out as a sticker, so I just stick that on. And I've also been using my new logo stickers on the mailers themselves, and I think it looks so cute having that little branding on there. This one was a very smooth, perfect seal. Like, I perfectly lined that one up. It was so satisfying. Both of the packages are ready to go. They both have their shipping labels on the front. They have the little logo stickers on the back. And of course, with the roll of logo stickers, you just tear off the excess. But like, this is literally not sponsored. I just really love these stickers. Now we're gonna take our little packages and we're going to drive to USPS and we're gonna ship them out. Another little note in general, which I have added to my website, is that I now have designated packing and shipping days. This is going to be Tuesday through Thursday of every week. So definitely just keep those days in mind when you're placing orders from my website. Alright, now on to making my next jewelry drop, and I did actually start making this design for a single strand necklace off camera, but that's okay because we still have plenty to do to finish this set on camera. I also had this idea for a keychain and for a bracelet as well, so this is going to be an entire honeybee inspired set. And here is the star of the show in question, these glass honeybee beads. The front is kind of gold and the back is kind of clear, and they're so cute. Oh my gosh. Here is a little bead soup that I've made of just kind of some beads for the bracelet design, and we're gonna go ahead and start to design that bracelet because that's the last one that we have yet to design, and then we'll be able to put everything all together. I was kind of debating what bracelet design to go with. I didn't know if I should change up my bracelet design since I changed up my necklace design. However, I feel like at this point I am super famous for my cluster bracelets, and I really love my cluster bracelets, so I'm just gonna do a cluster bracelet with a single strand necklace. And this was so fun. I haven't made a bracelet in a second, and it literally felt like coming home. Like, bracelets are so my thing, and it was so fun to do them with the new upgraded jump rings. I was like, damn, this bracelet is strong, it is not breaking, like these are thick jump rings. I felt really happy about it and the quality upgrade with the jump rings. First, we're gonna do our necklace, and we're just gonna put our necklace all together because it's taking up the most of the bead board, and so that'll just like make some space for the other two items. Here I am cutting some wire and getting my first end of the single strand necklace ready, putting on all the little stuff that goes on the wire, putting on the half crescent piece and the crimp bead, and then getting the lobster clasp on there. Adding the crimp cover, of course, to make the crimp bead a little bit cuter and a little bit bigger. And now I'm adding my first two beads on the end, and I always have to make sure that these beads have a big enough hole in them to fit the wire twice, basically, because you have to feed the wire that's looped back through the first couple of beads. Now we're just gonna add the stuff on the other end of the wire, and I ended up having a little bit of extra space on both sides underneath the crimp bead, if that makes sense, so like a little extra space on the wire. After adding the honeybee bead in the middle, this kind of made it a little bit more flush or a little bit less space on either end, but this necklace definitely has a little bit more like wiggle room for the beads to slide around on both ends. So I'm still just kind of trying to like get into the flow of single strand necklaces and learning how to make them as perfect as possible. possible. With that, our necklace is done, so I'm gonna move on to our bracelet and set the necklace to the side, but I do love how the necklace turned out. Super pretty. Now onto our cluster bracelet, and I'm gonna start as always with just hooking the little extra like dangly beads onto their little ball end wires. I originally had this leaf as part of the design, but I was really annoyed with trying to hook my new thick jump rings into it. It absolutely was not fitting in the beads hole, so I decided to just switch that out for a green star. Now with wiring the main beads, I actually broke one of these little cabbage green beads, which just goes to show that my beads are glass and they are handmade and dainty and they need to be treated with love and care, which is why I have care instructions on my website, because if you're taking off your bracelet and you're like chucking it across the room at the wall and your beads break, like, I can't help you. I'm sorry. You have to take care of it because my beads are real handmade glass beads. My beads break very rarely when I'm putting them on wire and when I'm putting them together, but the one-step blooper just hit the bead really hard and barely chipped it, and I redid that section with a new bead. Ta-da! The bracelet is now finished, and I'm just gonna show y'all how I put them on with a lobster clasp. I just use one hand to hold the chain with like my back fingers, and then with my thumb and my pointer finger I hold down the lobster clasp and hook it on, if that makes sense. Obviously I have a lot of practice with this, but I hope that that's a little bit helpful. And here's how I take them off by myself as well. I do the same thing where I use my thumb and my pointer finger to just kind of grab that little hook on the lobster clasp, and then I just kind of let the bracelet fall off. Now I'm gonna put together the keychain in the background while I tell you why I switched back to lobster clasps for my bracelets. It's because I'm not gonna have a ton of markets or in-person events this year, so mainly people will be sourcing jewelry off of my website, and so I want the adjustability of an extender chain, because then the bracelet can be completely adjustable and vary in size when it's just shipped out from my website and I'm not in person to adjust the size for every customer. And ta-da! Now my keychain is all finished. It turned out so cute, and now the entire set is all finished. I love how the set turned out, and I think I'm just gonna keep it simple and call it Honeybee. Here are a couple inspo pics for this set, and I really love this and just kind of picking out photos and the aesthetic and the vibe that I was going for with each set. This set hasn't dropped as of filming this voiceover for this video, but honestly, I think it'll be out by the time this video goes up, so definitely check it out both on my Instagram at Aussie's Jewelry over on Instagram, and my online shop is aussiesjewelry.bigcartel.com. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I super appreciate it. If you watched all the way up until the end, comment this emoji. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I super appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more cozy small business content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!